Hi everyone, I'm Filippo Formica, and I'm going to tell you guys about my experience with the 2013 blizzard. Some of you may know it as Winter Storm Nemo, which is what the Weather Channel named it in their second season of naming winter storms. But I know it as one of the most influential storms of my life, and I kind of accredit a little bit to how I got into the weather myself. So let's flash back here 10 whole years. And let's go over the blizzard of February 7th through 9th of 2013. So let's quickly go over some of the facts of this storm. First off, this was a nor'easter that rode up the northeast coastline during the February 7th to 9th timeframe of 2013. Now, this storm was amplified by a frontal system off to the west that prolonged the event and actually made the storm more severe. Some areas, especially in southern Connecticut, got up to 3.5 feet of snow. But for this story, I'm going to look more towards Long Island, which is where I was living at the time, where we got about 1.5 to 2 feet of snow. And probably still is the most snow that I've lived through in one shot. So now I'd like to get into a bit of a personal anecdote, because Winter Storm Nemo affected a lot of my most vivid memories. You know, this storm dropped 18 to 24 inches on where I lived on Long Island, and that weekend, the 9th and the 10th, was my birthday weekend. I'm a February 10th baby, so I was planning on having a bowling birthday party with some of my friends. I was turning 8 at the time. Now I'm turning 18, so it's 10 years later, but I was planning on having a bowling birthday party with some of my friends. So I wake up on the morning of the 9th, all hyped up for my birthday party. It was going to be a great time. I was going to go bowling with a bunch of my friends. And I hear my dad on the phone. You know, he's on the phone with the bowling alley. Hey, is everything okay? Are we still on for this birthday party? Do we have to reschedule? What's the deal? And after he gets off the phone, he tells us, hey, you know, they haven't had their parking lot plowed yet, but other than that, everything should be fine. So we head up north a little bit, not really that far, probably like 5 minutes, and we get to the bowling alley, and the parking lot still isn't plowed, and it turns out that one of the workers didn't tell us something, that the bowling alley was without power. So the glow-in-the-dark bowling experience really wasn't a thing back then, so we kind of had to think on our feet. Not really me, but more my dad. Obviously, as a soon-to-be 8-year-old, I really wasn't good at thinking on my feet. But my dad thought on his feet, and we turned around. I remember him, turning everybody around, all the cars, and we headed back south into town, and we met up at this little joint called Slices and Ices. Kind of a bit of a dive, but everybody liked the food there. Their Italian ices were amazing, and they had 2 arcade games. So one of them was a Pac-Man machine, the other one was a racing game. Now, the Pac-Man machine was broken. So you have one arcade game, a racing game, to entertain about a half a dozen 7 and 8-year-olds. Not going to be the most peaceful time. We were all kind of fighting over, hey, who's next? We're all like swarming around the arcade game, looking at the person that's currently playing and, giving them pointers. Hey, go this way, go that way, speed up, slow down, that type of thing. But really not a conventional birthday party for an 8-year-old guy, but it's really the most memorable party, the most memorable event of my entire time down on Long Island before my family and I eventually moved up to Southwest Connecticut in 2014. But the backdrop to that event, Winter Storm Nemo. 18 to 24 inches of snow where I lived. Now, where I live currently, they got about 3 to 4 feet of snow, which is insane. And some of the pictures out of, I think, Hamden, Connecticut, where they got like 40 inches of snow, is outright unbelievable. It looks like a different world. But 18 to 24 inches of snow is a great backdrop for a February baby's birthday, and I would like it no less than a little bit of that powder on the ground. Definitely not going to be getting that this year. Looks like it's going to be about 50 to 60 degrees tomorrow, but that year was definitely a different one. We started off that school year with Hurricane Sandy. Then you had this storm, just an insane amount of weather events impacting the region in the matter of, 5 months. So, all in all, that's my little story, my little anecdote about Winter Storm Nemo. It's definitely a storm that I will never forget, and it is my personal favorite storm of all time, just because I lived through it. And I think that it's probably one of the reasons that experience probably led me to this point today where I'm in front of all you guys talking about the weather, talking about my experiences. But maybe we'll get another one of those storms here, hopefully in March. But fingers crossed for that one. Thank you guys for sharing this little story time with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I also hope you guys enjoyed seeing me on camera for the first time. I think this is definitely going to be a lot more common in my videos, especially now that I have this new setup. So that is all I have for today. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for listening to me for a little bit. But that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.